Have you ever opened a bag of Lay's and thought, is this really mostly air or am I being tricked? We've all been there, ripping open that shiny yellow bag, expecting a mountain of crispy chips, only to find a half-filled bag that looks like it's hiding a big secret. But here's the shocking truth. That bag of Lay's isn't 90% potato like most people assume. It's not even 80%. On average, only about 59% of what you're buying is actual potato content. Surprised? Don't worry, you're not alone. So, what's in the rest of the bag? Why all the nitrogen gas? And how do these chips go from a humble potato in the ground to a global snack empire that makes billions every year? Today we're peeling back the layers and diving deep into the crispy world of Lay's chips, along with some fascinating secrets about other snacks you probably have in your pantry right now. Believe it or not, Lay's didn't start as a global giant. It began in 1932 with a young, ambitious salesman named Herman W. Lay, who drove around Tennessee in his truck selling homemade potato chips directly to customers. Back then it wasn't about flashy marketing or massive factories, it was just one man and his vision. By 1944, Lay's became the first nationally recognized potato chip brand in the United States. Fast forward to 1961, the company merged with Fritos to form the Frito-Lay Corporation, and just 4 years later, it joined forces with PepsiCo, creating a snack powerhouse that dominates the shelves today. Lay's isn't just a household name anymore, it's a global phenomenon, sold in more than 200 countries with over 200 unique flavors. From classic salted to bold flavors like Thai sweet chili or India's magic masala, Lay's rakes in an eye-popping $16 billion in annual revenue. But what makes these crispy snacks so irresistible? The secret lies in a highly optimized production process that blends science, precision, and a little bit of magic. Every year, Lay's purchases over 2.4 billion pounds of potatoes from more than 120 farms across the United States. These aren't just any potatoes, they're carefully selected varieties like Atlantic, Snowden, and Russet Burbank, prized for their high starch and low moisture content. Why does that matter? Because the perfect potato chip needs to be crispy, not soggy. High starch makes the chip light and crunchy, while low moisture prevents it from turning greasy. When harvest season kicks in, massive machines dig up rows of potatoes from the soil, separating dirt and rocks before moving them onto conveyor belts. Some farms even use high-tech optical sensors to spot and reject defective potatoes instantly. Talk about precision farming. Once the potatoes are harvested, they're loaded onto trucks, each carrying up to 30 tons of spuds, and transported to pre-processing plants. The moment they arrive, the cleaning process begins. The potatoes are dumped into giant water tanks that hold nearly 10,000 liters of water. Powerful water jets spray continuously, creating a swirling motion that scrubs away dirt and soil from the skins. After that, they pass through a stainless steel rotary drum spinning at about 20 revolutions per minute, where high-pressure nozzles blast off any stubborn debris hiding in crevices. When they emerge, they look spotless and ready for the next stage. Next comes the human touch. As the potatoes move along a 50-foot-long conveyor belt, trained workers inspect each one by hand, discarding any that look bruised or irregular. The selected potatoes then head to the factory, where some serious engineering takes over. Did you know that a single Lay's processing plant can handle up to 145,000 pounds of potatoes per shift? That's the equivalent of 65 tons in a single day. First, industrial peelers strip away the skins at lightning speed, about 3,500 pounds of potatoes every hour. Then comes slicing. Imagine razor-sharp steel blades spinning so fast they can cut 50 potatoes every second, creating perfectly uniform slices just 1.7 to 1.8 millimeters thick. For wavy chips, the blades are ridged to produce those iconic ripples that hold more seasoning and give you that satisfying crunch. But before these slices hit the fryer, they take another quick bath to wash away surface starch. This step ensures even coloring and prevents scorching in the oil. And then comes the magic moment, the fry. The slices plunge into vats of hot oil, sizzling at temperatures between 347 and 374 degrees Fahrenheit. In just 3 minutes, all the moisture evaporates, leaving behind golden, crispy chips. Lay's uses an enormous amount of oil every year, over 250 million liters, primarily sunflower, corn, or palm oil depending on the region. Once the chips are fried to perfection, they're not ready just yet. They need their flavor. Fresh from the fryer, the chips tumble into giant rotating drums, where a fine mist of seasoning coats every inch. Classic Lay's gets a simple sprinkle of salt, but flavored varieties like barbecue or sour cream and onion include a blend of spices, powders, and natural flavors that can have over a dozen ingredients. After flavoring, it's time for packaging, and this is where most people think Lay's is tricking them. You open the bag, see all that empty space and assume you got ripped off. But the truth is that air is actually nitrogen gas, and it serves a critical purpose. It keeps the chips from breaking during transport and prevents oxidation, which would make them stale. On average, nitrogen fills about 60% of the bag's volume, but without it, your chips would arrive crushed and bland. A single Lay's factory can pump out more than 350,000 bags a day, which are then shipped to over 200,000 retail locations across the country. Pretty wild, right? And here's the thing, snacks like Lay's are everywhere. But what about breakfast? You probably think cereal is a healthy choice compared to chips, but brace yourself. Some cereals pack more sugar than a can of soda. A study by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention revealed that popular kids' cereals like Frosted Flakes and Fruit Loops are up to 40% sugar. That's about 12 to 15 grams per 30-gram serving. For perspective, the American Heart Association recommends kids consume no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day. That means one bowl of sugary cereal could blow through half that limit before they even leave for school. So how did cereal go from a health food to a sugar bomb? The story goes back to the late 19th century when Dr. John Harvey Kellogg wanted a healthier breakfast alternative for his patients. In 1894, he and his brother Will accidentally discovered how to roll out cooked grains into crispy flakes, creating the foundation for cornflakes. Will saw the business potential, launched the Kellogg Company in 1906, and cereal was born. Originally marketed as a wholesome, nutritious option, the cereal industry shifted over time to attract kids by adding sugar, artificial flavors, and colorful shapes. Suddenly, breakfast became a sweet, crunchy candy disguised as a meal. The modern production process is just as fascinating. Everything starts with grains like corn, wheat, oats, and rice, sourced from farms worldwide. The grains are cleaned, ground into flour, or kept whole, then cooked in massive steamers at temperatures around 212 to 248 degrees Fahrenheit. This cooking process softens the grains, kills bacteria, and extends shelf life. But here's where things get controversial: sugar. Many cereals add sugar syrups or honey during this stage to enhance sweetness and texture. After cooking, the grains are shaped using industrial extruders, which can handle up to 2,000 kilograms of raw material per hour. Then comes the coating. Some cereals like Cocoa Puffs get a generous layer of chocolate powder, while Frosted Flakes receive a sugar glaze. To lock and crunch, the cereal goes through a conveyor oven that hits 250 degrees Celsius. After cooling, it moves to the packaging line where vacuum sealing keeps it fresh for months. Imagine opening a fresh box of your favorite cheesy snack, those crispy, crunchy Cheez-Its that have become a household staple across America. But have you ever wondered what really goes into making them? What's behind that irresistible crunch, the golden color, and the bold cheesy flavor that keeps you coming back for more? The truth is, every tiny square cracker has a fascinating story, from the carefully chosen ingredients to the high-speed production lines that churn out millions every day. Today we're pulling back the curtain to reveal how Cheez-Its are made, and later, we'll uncover the secrets of another global sensation, bubble tea. So grab a snack and let's dive into the world of food manufacturing like you've never seen it before. Cheez-Its have a long history that dates back to the early 1900s. Originally introduced by the Green and Green Company, this small cracker began its journey as a simple idea to make a bite-sized snack full of flavor. In 1932, the company was acquired by Sunshine Biscuits, and under this new ownership, Cheez-Its grew rapidly in popularity. Decades later, in 1996, Sunshine Biscuits merged with Keebler, and just a few years after that, Kellogg's acquired Keebler in 2001. Since then, Cheez-Its have become one of Kellogg's most iconic snack brands, producing billions of crackers every year. But what does it take to create that perfect little square? It all begins with the ingredients. The backbone of every Cheez-It is a blend of refined wheat flour, real cheese, vegetable oil, and flavor enhancers. But here's where things get interesting. While the box proudly states, made with 100% real cheese, the actual cheese content in each cracker is about 51%. The remaining 49% is made up of wheat flour, palm oil, and crisping agents that create the signature texture. The cheese itself isn't fresh cheddar straight from a farm. It's processed cheese, often in powdered or paste form. This makes it easier to store and use on a massive scale, while also providing a longer shelf life. To boost the flavor even more, ingredients like yeast extract, whey powder, and salt are added. For special varieties, garlic powder, onion powder, or even chili powder might make an appearance. Once all the ingredients are measured to exact specifications, they head into enormous industrial mixers. These high-capacity machines work continuously to blend everything into a smooth, elastic dough with just the right amount of moisture. But the process doesn't stop there. The dough needs time to rest. This resting period allows the gluten in the wheat to develop properly, giving the crackers their signature crunch. It also helps all the flavors meld together for that balanced cheesy taste we all know and love. After the dough is ready, it goes through an automated rolling system. Giant rollers flatten the dough into thin sheets with precise thickness. Then comes the cutting process, where the dough sheets are sliced into the classic square shape. Ever notice that tiny hole in the middle of each Cheez-It? That little puncture isn't for decoration, it serves a crucial purpose. During baking, steam escapes through the hole, preventing the cracker from puffing up and ensuring every bite has that perfect crispy snap. Next comes the baking phase, where precision is everything. The freshly cut squares enter industrial ovens that reach temperatures between 400 and 500 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly 200 to 260 degrees Celsius. This intense heat is what gives Cheez-Its their golden hue and rich, toasty aroma. The timing has to be perfect. Too long and they burn, too short and they turn out chewy instead of crunchy. Moisture control is also critical. If the crackers lose too much moisture, they become brittle. If they retain too much, they end up soft and stale. The goal is always that signature crispy bite that keeps you reaching for more. As soon as the crackers emerge from the oven, they're dusted with a thin layer of salt. This step doesn't just enhance flavor, it also acts as a natural preservative, helping maintain freshness and crunch. Some Cheez-It varieties go through extra seasoning steps, where additional flavors like extra cheddar, spicy pepper, or smoky barbecue are added for bold new twists. Finally, the crackers move to the packaging line. High-speed machines portion them into bags or boxes, sealing them in airtight packaging to lock in freshness. Modern production lines can process hundreds of packages per minute, ensuring these snacks make their way to store shelves across America in record time. The next time you open a box of Cheez-Its, take a moment to appreciate the journey behind each little square. From the selection of ingredients to the baking process, it's a fascinating combination of science, technology, and taste. But Cheez-Its aren't the only food with an interesting backstory. Another worldwide sensation is bubble tea, or boba tea, a drink that's just as fun as it is flavorful. It's sweet, chewy, colorful, and Instagram-worthy. But what's really in your favorite cup of boba? Is it as wholesome as it looks, or is there more sugar and additives than you think? Let's take a closer look. Bubble tea, also called pearl milk tea or simply boba, originated in Taiwan during the 1980s. Its rise to fame is the stuff of legends. One story credits Lin Su Hui, an employee at the famous Chun Shui Tang tea shop, who accidentally poured tapioca pearls into her iced tea during a meeting. The result? A drink so unique that it became an instant hit. Another version claims that Hanlin Tea Room in Tainan created the first bubble tea. No matter who invented it, one thing is clear. Bubble tea has gone from a local Taiwanese treat to a global cultural phenomenon. Today it's a staple in cities from Los Angeles to New York, with boba shops popping up on every corner. So what makes bubble tea so addictive? It's not just the sweet, creamy flavor, it's the texture. Those chewy little pearls at the bottom of your cup set it apart from any other drink. These pearls, called tapioca balls or boba, are made primarily from tapioca starch, which comes from the cassava root. But don't be fooled into thinking it's all natural. To get that perfect chewiness, manufacturers often add cornstarch, rice flour, or synthetic thickeners. And what about those jet black pearls? That color comes from caramel or food coloring. The bright colored versions? Artificial dyes. Surprised? There's more. A typical bubble tea is made with three main components: tea, milk or non-dairy creamer, and tapioca pearls. The tea is usually black tea, green tea, or oolong. While some shops brew fresh tea daily, many use concentrated tea extracts or instant powders for speed and consistency. The milk can be fresh, condensed, or replaced with non-dairy creamer. Here's the catch. Most commercial creamers contain hydrogenated oils, which means trans fats, something health experts warn against. And then there's the sugar. A regular 16-ounce cup of bubble tea can contain anywhere from 30 to 50 grams of sugar. That's equal to or even more than a can of soda. Now let's talk about the pearls. In large factories, the process is highly automated. Tapioca starch is mixed with hot water to form a dough, which is rolled and shaped into thousands of tiny balls. These pearls are boiled for 30 to 35 minutes until they become soft and chewy, then soaked in sugar syrup or honey for flavor. If you've ever had boba that tasted bland or had a hard center, it probably wasn't cooked properly or had been sitting too long without soaking in syrup. Once all the components are ready, the magic happens. Tea, milk, and sweetener are shaken together. Yes, shaken, not stirred, giving bubble tea its frothy texture. Automatic shaking machines in modern boba shops make sure every cup tastes the same. Pearls are scooped into the bottom of the cup, then the tea mixture is poured on top. Some variations include fruit flavors, ice cream, whipped cream, or even cheese foam. Finally, the drink is sealed with a plastic film so you can shake it without spills, pop in that extra wide straw and enjoy. Behind the scenes, bubble tea is big business. Major chains like Gong Cha, Tiger Sugar, and Koi that have complex supply networks sourcing pearls, syrups, and creamers from large factories in Taiwan, China, and Vietnam. These ingredients travel worldwide to keep up with demand. And just like Cheez-Its, boba tea is a processed product, even if it feels fresh when you order it. So the next time you sip on bubble tea or munch on Cheez-Its, remember that there's a fascinating world of food science, engineering, and marketing behind every bite and sip. They may look simple, but these products are the result of decades of innovation and a global supply chain designed to deliver convenience, taste, and consistency. Whether that's a good thing or not depends on your perspective. Do taste and convenience matter more than natural ingredients? Or is it time to rethink what we consume daily? One thing's for sure, our favorite snacks and drinks aren't as simple as they seem. If you love uncovering the secrets behind everyday foods, make sure to stick around because there's so much more to explore. From potato chips to chocolate bars, breakfast cereals to frozen desserts, every product has a story, and we're here to tell it. Because the more you know about what's on your plate or in your cup, the better choices you can make for your health and your taste buds. So, are you ready for the next food mystery? Hit that subscribe button and let's keep discovering together.